My company, Good Form Pilates, and then I do individual sessions with people. I also do duet sessions, so it's really fun to have couples or friends come in and take classes together. I work with all different types of people. What else? Let's see.
What does the name Pilates mean?
I'm gonna tell you.
Okay, thank
yeah,
you.
don't you worry.
Thank you.
Okay, so yeah, history of Pilates. The person that made it his name was Joseph Pilates. He was the creator. It was first called Contrology. He was born and raised in Germany, then later he moved to New York. It used to be called a man's exercise which is kind of funny because nowadays, right, I feel like a lot of people think about Pilates and it's mainly majority women, but it used to be a man's exercise, which was kind of interesting because he worked a lot with injured military. He would attach springs to the bed to help with assisting with exercises. He also worked with circus performers, boxers, and then later on he moved his fitness studio next door to the New York Ballet Company, and they found out, wow, like he's fixing people, fixing a lot of injured people, so a lot of dancers would go, and over time they found like, okay, Pilates is really effective, and so a lot of the exercises are related to dancing. So so a lot of dancers do Pilates. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah. What else? And then, so what is Pilates? Pilates it uses equipment. It can use equipment. So I don't have a picture, so you guys can just have to imagine, or if you're really interested in looking at pictures, I can put it on my phone and we can pass it around. But reformer is one of, I know it sounds funny, you can be reformed by the reformer. No, so a reformer is a piece of equipment. It's kind of like a leg press machine, but it has springs, and it can either help assist the person with the exercise or make it more challenging. So it works on flexibility, strength, stability, balance, breathing, and it's a way to help with it's a mindful exercise. So really good with calming the nervous system down. Anybody dealing with anything chronic, we're always working on calming the nervous system down, right? So let's see. You can also do stuff with the mat, so you don't have to have any equipment. There are mat exercises. So when I see someone and they come in for the first time, we do an initial, evaluation of like, let's look at your movement skills, and then I ask them their goals. What are your fitness goals? What would you like to accomplish or get out of these sessions? And then if they want stuff to take home, then I focus on some like mat exercises and then some equipment exercises. And then the other thing that I do is also integrate myofascial release, which is a fancy way of saying massage or releasing the tension of tissue through teaching people self-care techniques with different tools that we're gonna learn about today. And I think we'll have a lot of fun with that. What are the benefits for like people that have MS and Pilates? So a lot of times we're trying to conserve energy but still move our bodies, right? So Pilates is not a high intensity exercise, which is awesome. It's also, there's equipment that can assist you through movements that you may not be able to do yourself. And it's a hands-on approach. So it also improves balance. It improves trunk support through core strengthening. Improves walking cadence, so actually you'll be able to walk faster by starting to improve your strength. Sitting stability increases muscle strength, and then diaphragmatic breathing or belly breathing. Okay, and then so one study demonstrated after 12 weeks of Pilates, a group of MS patients using a wheelchair had improved sitting stability, sitting posture, decreased pain in the shoulders and their back. They also showed benefits with confidence of various physical, functional, psychological, and social benefits. Okay, so we all want to know what these fun tools are, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, because that's like the best part of the presentation, really. Okay, so one of my favorite tools is just a plain old lacrosse ball. You could just pass them down. That's good. So if the lacrosse ball is too hard, I have other options. So let me know. And then so if there's any certain areas that you guys want to work on or focus on, let me know. And then, but I will just start. We'll just start and then
Yeah, just jump in.
jump in, and we will also answer, Mary it was, right?
Yeah.
We will also answer your question about, I feel so stiff after sitting for a long period of time, what we can do to kind of warm up the muscles. Okay, so we're going to start with, most people don't realize it, pec muscles get quite tight. And so something we can do is we take our lacrosse ball and we can roll it right here. But another option is you get nice and friendly with the wall, and you put the ball here, right? And then you go back and forth.
Yes, and it
Okay.
works, you guys.
However, you know, for
I've
some
been
people
doing
who,
this for a while.
you know, have a little too much
Oh,
in the
wow,
front,
this
that's
is
not going to
great.
work too well.
I learned
Okay,
it from
so
something else.
you just got to figure out what's going to feel
Yeah, it
good.
feels
So this
really
would feel,
good for your back.
So I used to play lacrosse, and this is much better use of the ball than getting whacked.
okay.
Usually
And
not
then
as nice.
we can switch sides. And then, did we find that some of this area was a little tender? We didn't know it. Okay, so upper traps. We're gonna use the Theracane in a moment, but this is one way to get upper traps. I think Theracane is much nicer. Yeah, we're gonna go there in a moment.
You just used the word trap.
Yes.
What is a trap?
Upper trapezius is this muscle here. Sorry. Good question. Yes, sometimes we forget our
People don't
words.
know.
Yeah, our
Jargon.
words are too technical.
I was going to say, I have a hard time reaching back there, so.
Yeah, so
Like the song
I
was
will show
placed.
you in a moment. So switch to the side and I'm going to show you in a moment.
a hard ball.
Yeah.
The
They
ball
say
I
hurt
use,
when you
If it's
actually
too
hit that.
hard.
I was going to say the ball I use at home is a lot softer.
Well, so like again, if it's too hard, right, I have options, right? We got lots of different options down here. So you let me know. Okay, all right. So something else we can do is find a surface.
Oh!
Yeah. So like,
Wow.
so be nice to yourself. So
Okay.
this shouldn't be torture. So like if we are, you know, have a little bit more bony protuberances, then we need to be a little bit more gentle about that. We're also making sure we're only going on the muscle belly, not on bone.
Okay.
We can't really mobilize bone unless we break it. Okay, you don't want to do that. So maybe you want to try that
Okay.
instead. Okay, you might like that better. No,
I'm just
it's
mean.
really
I'm mean
tender.
to myself.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I think
Or you
me-
might just be really tender.
I know.
The thing,
So-
I'll
that
be
was
more
tricking me
gentle.
is that it's so hard. So I have some numbness, and so I don't know until it's a little later that I'm like really digging into
Yeah.
my skin.
So don't.
Yeah.
So be
just
gentle
a
with
little
yourself.
nicer.
Roll it.
Bruise, you got too far.
Yeah. Then I find out like 2 days later. I'm like, yes, that was aggressive.
Yeah. So lacrosse ball is working on the deeper fibers of the muscle belly. And then I'm going to use this as a place to just rest my arm. But another thing you can do is work on forearms, right? You guys might have some arm rests that you can put your arm on and then just let that arm relax and go back and forth. If you have a table, what's really nice is then you can just roll it, right? And you don't even have to use the other hand, which is nice. Okay. So that's an option. So also, this feels really good on forearms. Okay, so it's either two tennis balls together with just duct tape. Okay, and that's really nice. Anybody want to try that?
Oh yeah, because then it won't fall.
Yeah.
Like,
Anybody else want to try
roll
that?
away.
So how does that work? Are you just
Yeah, so you can just, it's a little hard because we don't have surfaces to do this on, but you
do
know.
it where your
I'm getting a
arm is
2 for 1 right now. I'm doing my thigh and my forearm now.
Well, that's what
All right.
I'm doing over
Okay.
here.
Two for,
Yeah.
2 for 1.
yeah.
Pick your other side if you haven't. Switch sides. And just be careful. Okay, so did we find some good spots? Oh yeah.
We're looking.
Oh yeah.
Bizarre.
Okay, and then if you already got both sides, you can start working this area, this muscle right here that attaches the iliac crest, so your hip. And the first rib is called your quadratus lumborum, so you can work on getting this area on either side of the spine. And then the nice thing about the two is you can get the spinal erector, so they're right next door to the spine, and that feels really good. So anybody want to try that? Yeah. And sorry, not the best wall space, but
That's okay.
So you split in between, right?
Yeah, so then you
that's
have-
pretty cool.
yeah, both balls like this, and
Uh-huh.
you can rolling up and down.
Yeah, so
And
you're
you
not
can-
getting your spine.
So can you
getting-
buy it like this?
You can buy it like that.
Where do you buy
They're
it?
OPTP. I
Is
can.
that online?
Yeah, I don't know a place in town. Somebody
It's the
had
duct tape one.
the duct tape one.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
fine. This is the cheap version. So you don't need
That's-
special tape. You
I
don't
was
need
gonna
special
say,
tape. Just duct
that-
tape.
They
You
make
can get
kind of
this at
like
a store.
cloth tapes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
ACO tape, you can get it. So
Okay.
that's what this is.
Let me try it with the
I recommend duct tape just because it's a little bit more durable. Okay, did we get everything? Yes, we're ready to move on.
Ooh, this
Okay,
is nice.
so this might be hard for some people depending on your flexibility, but I don't know. We're gonna try this. Anybody can reach like that?
Oh no.
If not, I'll show you. We're gonna, yeah, and then you can go up and down, or you can go side to side. Just make sure you're not right on the spine, right?
Right.
And that's where having this in a long sock.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So one
Toss
option.
it
I do
behind
have
you.
one in a long sock at home.
One option is you put it in a
like you're
long
doing the
sock and you lob it over and
That's pretty cool.
right. So that's an option. Another option is going to be the Theracane, and I'm going to show you guys how to use that. Okay, and then we didn't do feet yet, but we will at the end. How about
You
that?
said, make sure you don't touch the spine. How do we not touch the spine with this type of,
To
So
the side.
the goal, you're just going on the sides.
You're not going sideways. You're
Never
going
in the
up and
center.
down.
You're trying to go up and down. Any areas that we're interested in massaging?
My neck gets a
Your
lot
neck?
of like.
We're gonna go.
Like right above the knee and behind.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful.
Oh.
Okay, let's
We're
kind of
trying.
move into our chairs again.
Okay.
You might find one that's like, oh, that feels horrible. And then you might find one that's like, ah, that's amazing, right? And, you know,
Like
everybody.
that double ball. I'm getting
She's
a
in
double
love.
ball. That is like,
Yeah.
both of them, either the one with the firmer stuff or that one there. That was just great.
Yes,
You do need one to demo with, right?
I do. There's probably lots of different names for this tool. This one is called a Theracane, but you can of course buy different ones
Body
on.
Buddy.
Yeah, it sounds like Body Buddy. You can buy it on Amazon or Horse Sniders.
I
So
think,
because you said you don't
I
use the
think
internet.
I think they have them at Bed Bath and Beyond.
I
And
think
they
so
have
too.
coupons
So you don't
for that.
need to have
Nice.
this specific one. There are some that come with a booklet, which is really nice, and they show you different things you can do with it. Okay, you said neck. How do I get my neck?
Yeah.
All right, this is the most amazing tool for that. So we take this tool, and again, we're not going right on the cervical spine, we're going on the sides of the cervical spine. If we're one of those people that really has a lot of headaches, then we want to work on these muscles right here called the suboccipitals. So we're come up here, we hook ourselves, and we can go back and forth. Now, this might be too much for some people, okay? Here you go. Give that, you can try it out.
Team Theracane.
How's that feeling? How's everybody feeling with that?
Good.
Good. Yeah. This is a nice way to have a Saturday afternoon. I was going to say morning, but afternoon. Work from the top, and you work all the way down to the side here. Okay? So you're working like that. Okay? Honestly, you can't really go wrong, right? And then I'm going to just show one more. So then, upper traps, upper trapezius. I wish I had a picture, but it's a very big muscle. There's one connection spot here, goes up, goes to the base of the skull, goes down, makes kind of a triangle, okay, and then comes all the way down to here, and that's the lower traps, that's the lower fibers. So those tend to be very tight on people and tend to cause neck pain. So we can start working that if you want. If you've got both sides of your neck, you can go upper traps. And a lot of you guys already know, maybe, if you've done this before, some of these things, which is awesome. And then another thing you can do is a trigger point release. So you find a spot that's tender and you hold it for 90 seconds. And you make sure you're breathing.
Do you add more pressure when you hold it?
You hold it to a pressure that feels comfortable. Okay? So again, not about torture. We want to go to what feels comfortable. Okay? Yeah. And then make sure you're breathing. Some of you guys look like you're holding your breath. There's lots of things. I'm only showing just the surface, really. So you can also, again, you can use this for pecs. This is going to be a lot more pressure than the lacrosse ball. So if you already felt like it was tender when you used a lacrosse ball, this is probably not your tool, but this is an option. Okay, so you could do that. I just wanted to show that area. You can also you can do here, this part of your back. So I'm pulling out. So I'm going from basically the side of the spine and pulling away. So following my rib cage. Okay, so that's another option. Okay, here, you can try those things. And then, everybody wanted to know, well, not everybody, one person wanted to know, what do we do with this and how do we get our legs?
Making
Okay,
cookies.
yeah, we can't miss the legs. Okay, are we ready for that? Okay, hook
I'm
your,
watching.
you're watching?
Oh.
Yeah, you can still use the cane if you want. So yeah, I wouldn't say Theracane works really well for the legs. So this is a really great tool because it kind of acts like a foam roller, but a little less pressure. And you don't have to be holding yourself up in a plank if you're doing, quads, right? So you just get to roll out your thighs. You get to make thigh pies. Okay. So you can just roll out any area you want. To do, usually what I suggest is if somebody, I'm gonna still this chair here. If someone is, this is kind of, here we go, wants to do their gastroc or the calf muscle, you want to put a step up there so you're just in a good position with your body, and then you can roll out here. You can also roll out the side, right? Okay. Here you go.
You
So
wouldn't
that was
necessarily
your.
want to roll out the front because it's too close to the bone.
Okay,
or-
so you can. That's a good question. So just be, aware of your bony landmarks. Like, okay, that feels like bone. I know that's not gonna feel good if I roll on that. But if we go to the side right here, we're still on muscle. That still could be rolled out.
Right, just
You
not
can
straight
still-
down the front.
Yeah, you could go to the side here too. Okay. So because that was your request,
Thank
there
you.
you go. Do I have any other requests? Any other areas? I will show you feet in a moment.
Do you use this for anything, or is that just for leverage, basically?
I don't, you can. I don't always show some of these other ones because they're deeper
Yeah.
muscles. Okay. Well, it's just you need to be in a position where you're lying down.
Okay.
So the trunk muscles are relaxed. But these hooks, I don't usually use these ones here, but this one you can use for psoas muscle. And
what's your
again,
psoas muscle?
this is something that everybody would have to be lying down, and we have to go around, and I would show you where it is, and
Another
then we
day.
learn where it is, and then we would work on it.
Office is in town.
Exactly. Come visit me in Capitola.
You hooked us.
Okay, and then I can definitely show you more tricks, right, and tools. So another thing you can do with the lacrosse ball is you take this and you put it on the ground. So, this is one way we can roll down here and roll back and forth. So that's a nice way of getting gastroc, okay? I'm just demonstrating, you don't have to do that. You could also do it where you're sitting and you have something next door, right, a stool, and doing it back and forth. Okay, everybody gets to take off their shoes. Hopefully everybody took their
Leave our
shower.
socks on?
You
Or
can,
should we
yeah,
have 'em
yeah, leave your socks on. I just don't have socks on. Yeah, and then we're gonna roll our feet. So you probably might like it sitting in a chair because you'll be able to get more pressure. You can go from, yeah, this was a nice one. So you're just going from heel to ball, a foot, right?
Golly.
Okay, this should feel good. Yeah. Hopefully everybody's enjoying this. Yeah. Yeah, how do you, that's good, right?
I love fitness.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, so this one's really nice. And if you feel safe, then you could do something at home, making sure you're holding on to something and then doing it like this and standing. So that's another option. And you're working, so just make sure you feel like you're safe and you're not gonna teeter-totter, no falling, please. And this works on actually two things at once. You're working on some balance, and you're also working on getting the foot massage. So hopefully people switched feet, right? Might as well get
If you
both.
ever overdo it, like, I mean, I don't know if it's silly, but
No, it's not silly. So, you know, with MS, you want to pace yourself, right? So I would say, yeah, you could overdo it. So I would say if you have some areas you know that are very sore or tend to be the main sore areas, focus on those ones, you know, once a day. And maybe you're only spending like a minute in each spot. And maybe if you find later, you know, that that's really sucking the energy out of you, then you need to just, you're gonna find your balance, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And then you'll figure out your pace.
that makes sense.
Okay.
I have one other question.
Yes.
Hands. My hands have a issue with like they like to curl in sometimes, and then I get like a lot of, it causes like a lot of pressure and stuff here.
Uh-huh.
It did feel good rolling it on the thingamabobber, the ball. Are there any other little hand stuff? That
Yeah,
I could
so
do?
that becomes more of like a stretch.
Okay.
So when we talked about forearms,
Mhm.
okay, forearm muscles and working on those, that's gonna help, okay, because it attaches here, our forearm extensors attach here, they come down into the hand, and then forearm flexors, other direction, attach here, come down into the hand. And so if this is tight, these get tight, okay?
Maybe that's
So rolling it, doing this, and then doing stretching, so forearm stretch. We want to try to get our hand so it's not at the fingers, but like kind of in the palm and fingers. And that gives, so right now we're stretching flexors, you should feel stretched down here.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I usually tell people to stretch for 30 seconds and then release. Some people like to go for a minute and then to go the other direction, we just do that. And we want to make sure our shoulder is relaxed, right? Not like this. We don't want shoulders for earrings, no.
That's hilarious.
Okay. Okay, and then let it out. I like to kind of let it out, and then we might as well make it even, right? Make it even.
I like this thing on my feet.
Okay.
Never
Any
thought of that on my
other
feet.
questions?
You've given me the ability to exercise some muscles that I had never done before, such as we just did. Thank you very much.
You're
Yeah,
welcome.
this has been great.
You're welcome.
Actually, I have a question.
Yeah.
I have tendinosynovitis in my left wrist area. I've already had cortisone shots in there. So short of surgery, is there any stretch or anything I can do that could help sort of alleviate a little bit?
Gray hair.
Besides
So-
this or this, because that
Yeah.
hurts like a, you know what?
Yeah. Yeah. So again, also
Maybe
stretches
dog.
should be
Yeah.
to a range that's comfortable. So let's just say this range all the way to the full range doesn't feel good, so you just go to what feels comfortable. That would be, or for you, you're gonna work on doing the self releases with the lacrosse ball here. The other one, this one's usually the torture one. You go right here, and you can work on it's called the thin arm eminence.
It's
Do you
funny,
ever-
I just naturally, I always gravitate there and just massage it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's pretty torturous for some
When
people.
I'm feeling like really stressed out, I kind of, like,
Yeah.
I don't even notice that I'm
Yeah.
doing it.
And last but not least, we will talk about the spoon since you brought that up. I was gonna ditch that one. We have one more tool, and I only have one. So sorry, nobody.
Fight for it.
I know. Okay, Chinese soup spoon.
Oh.
Okay, we love our noodles.
Listen
We
to
love
us
our
all.
soup.
Oh.
But this also is very effective for working on the fascia. So that's the
Oh, I see.
outer layer of our skin. So that's our first layer right here. So when we look at that layer and we want it to be nice and mobile, okay? Some of us, certain areas are not very mobile. So this is a very effective tool. This comes from basically Chinese medicine. They do it a little different. Theirs is more about channels, and it's called gua sha. In the Western world, it's called Graston. But you don't need to have special tools. So you could just get a Chinese soup spoon. I will do, since you brought up tendons, I'll show you something. It's really helpful for anything that's a tendon, especially IT bands. So this band here that goes across, it's very helpful.
You got some eyes totally open.
Yeah.
So I will do a little demo, and then if you have more questions about it, come visit me. So something we can do is, and I didn't bring lotion, so this will be a little interesting. So show me your discomfort area.
It's right in here.
Yeah, okay. So then what we are going to do is you look for your tight spots. Are you comfortable laying your arm just there, hanging out? Yeah, so we are looking for the tight spots. Yeah, you're pretty tight in here, so that would be a good one to work on. And then I'm gonna look all the way up the arm, because remember what I said, our muscles attach up here. And the pain you feel is probably coming from here, because you're pretty tight up here. So a lot of times we have referral pain. So there's trigger points that cause pain to other areas. So I would start here, and you probably, sorry, no lotion, so I'll be really gentle. But it's kind of like a scraping motion, and then usually what you're feeling is kind of some ridges, and you know that the tissue's tight. And the cool thing is you can do this to yourself. Like right here, that probably, do you feel how that's kind of gritty?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know when, you know,
So-
that ear is massaged, it hurts like the dickens. I mean,
When
know.
you get a massage?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
And
well.
it's like amazing how much tension is in here.
Yeah, so you can try this on yourself,
Sure.
and then these are really affordable, like 99 cents.
Yeah.
So awesome, right? That you can use a tool that's so cheap and so useful. I highly recommend that like you get a little bit more instruction than what I did today. But for you, since we showed you an area, go for it at home. I wouldn't do more than a minute. So for pain relief, we go 30 seconds, really gentle and short strokes. For working on decreasing the muscle tension, we go nice and long and a little deeper. Okay? You want to try that?
Thank you.
Would a regular
Still.
kitchen soup spoon work?
That's really, it's kind of, that's pretty aggressive.
Okay.
I like the idea of,
Because this
Yeah.
Pours
it's
the
thicker or
say,
the
yeah.
edges around her.
The metal.
Or maybe
I think
a
that
wooden
would be
spoon or something.
probably not. I would just recommend, so ceramic, but I do recommend that come visit me so you can learn more detail about it for an area if you're interested, right? I just gave out the other tools that are really easy to find and, you know, not, yeah. This one tends to also be a little bit on the more aggressive side for some people. Yeah, what do you think?
I think it's great.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Okay, any other questions?
What about knees?
What about knees? So, that rolling pin, you're gonna make your thigh pass.
For your knees?
Yes,
Because these are the
because
Fine, fine.
quads attach to the pelvis, so quadriceps touch the pelvis. They come down and they go right over the patella,
Ah.
spondyli, and
So,
they go.
but we're not going over our knees with this.
No,
we're just
no.
doing it up
So
here.
what happens is if our knees are bothering us most of the time, it's because we need to release our quads. Okay?
Oh, I'm going home and getting my rolling pin.
There you go. There you go.
Thanks, Lou.
Yeah, you're welcome.